You've heard of Eve, Mary, and Esther? But what about Joanna, Lois, or Priscilla? In every chapter of Scripture, women rose with courage, faith, and purpose. And their stories aren't just history, they're testimony, told in their own words, their voices, their legacy.
These are their testimonies.
I am the widow with the oil. After my husband died, I faced selling my sons to pay off a crushing debt. Desperate, I asked Elisha for help. Instead, he asked what I had to give. All I had was a small jar of precious oil. He told me to gather jars and pour the oil. Miraculously, it kept flowing, filling every jar. I had enough to pay my debt and live off the rest. I learned God provides when we have faith, even when we feel we don't have enough. I am the widow who gave 2 small coins at the temple. Though my offering seemed insignificant compared to the gifts of the wealthy, it was all that I had. I had no riches, no possessions, and no security, but I wanted to give to the Lord. With a heart full of trust, I placed my 2 mites into the offering box, knowing that God sees beyond the amount and looks at the heart. As I walked away, I didn't know that Jesus was watching. Later, I heard that he praised my offering to his disciples, saying that I had given more than all the others, because they gave out of their wealth, but I gave out of my poverty, all I had to live on. My story shows that God honors the heart behind the gift, not its size. Even the smallest offering, when given in faith, is precious in his sight. I am the widow of Zarephath. During a severe drought, I was preparing a final meal for my son and me when the prophet Elijah asked for bread. Though I had little left, he promised that if I fed him, my flour and oil would not run out. I chose to trust him, and miraculously, we had enough every day. But soon after, my son became ill and died. I was devastated. Elijah took him, prayed to God, and my son was restored to life. Through this, I knew Elijah's God was real and powerful. My story is one of trusting God when all seems lost and witnessing his power to provide and restore. I am Tabitha. I was known for acts of kindness, making clothes and helping the poor in my community. When I died, God restored my life because my kindness had deeply impacted those around me. I am Susanna. Along with other women, I supported Jesus' ministry by providing for him and his disciples out of my own resources. I followed Jesus closely and witnessed firsthand the depth of his love and care for people. Many times I saw that he had no place to rest, yet he continued to serve others tirelessly. Jesus relied on us and graciously accepted our gifts with love. I stand as a testament to his healing power and boundless love. I am the Shunammite woman. Have you ever opened your home to a stranger and watched it transform your life? I did just that. I recognized Elisha, a wandering prophet, as a man touched by God. Offering him a room on our roof wasn't just about providing shelter, it was an act of faith. This simple gesture taught me that true hospitality is a form of service to God. As I sought to provide for his needs, God was providing for mine.
I am Ruth, a Moabite woman. After the death of my husband, I chose not to leave my mother-in-law, Naomi. I said to her, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." In Israel, I worked in the fields to provide for us, and there I met Boaz, a righteous man who became my husband. God blessed our union with a son, Obed, who would become the grandfather of King David. My story is one of loyalty and faith, and it shows that God guides and blesses us, even in the most difficult times.
I'm Rahab. I lived in Jericho, where I worked as a prostitute, but my life changed the day. 2 Israelite spies came to my door. I had heard of the great wonders their God had done for them, and I knew Jericho was doomed. Recognizing the power of their God, I hid the spies from the king's men, risking my life to protect them. In exchange, they promised that my family and I would be spared when Israel came to conquer Jericho. I tied a scarlet cord in my window as a sign, and when the city fell, my family and I were saved. I chose to put my faith in the God of Israel, and because of that, I was grafted into their community. I eventually became part of the lineage of King David and even Jesus Christ. My story shows that no matter your past, faith in God can bring redemption and a new future. I'm Puah, a midwife to the Hebrews during our oppression in Egypt. When Pharaoh commanded us to kill every male Hebrew baby, I knew I couldn't follow such a cruel order. With Shiphrah, I chose to let the boys live, trusting in God's will over Pharaoh's decree. When questioned, we explained that the Hebrew women gave birth before we arrived. God protected us for our faithfulness and blessed us with families of our own. My story shows that standing for life and justice, even in the face of danger, honors God.
I am Phoebe, a servant of the church in Corinth. My life has been dedicated to serving God and His people. The Apostle Paul called me a benefactor and trusted me to carry his letter to the church in Rome, a task I humbly accepted. As a woman of means, I used my resources and influence to support the early church, helping many believers, including Paul, on their journeys. Though my role may not seem large in the eyes of some, I know that God used me in His plan to spread the gospel. It is an honor to have served the church in this way, and I am grateful that my name is mentioned among those who help to advance the message of Christ. My story is a reminder that service to God can take many forms. Whether through hospitality, generosity, or support, God values every effort made in His name.
These testimonies reveal how God intervened in the lives of women throughout history, showing His unfailing love and faithful provision.